Diego State. Tonight, the Broncos get ready for another marquee matchup, this time against rival Fresno State. BSU will look for an encore of more touchdowns, more sacks, and more smiles. And Dirk Cutter is back for more than just a cameo. It's homecoming week in the City of Trees. And if you haven't bothered hitting the box office yet, don't bother, because this feature is officially sold out. It's time for lights, camera, action. Bronco Roundup Game Day starts now.
Now, a special presentation from the KTVB Newsroom. Bronco Roundup Game Day starts now.
Welcome live inside Albertson Stadium for this homecoming showdown between two rivals out of the Mountain West. Boise State welcomes Fresno State to town. The Broncos looking to make it 2 in a row over their rivals. Welcome on into the Bronco Roundup pregame show. Tust alongside Brady, Frederick, a special digital-only edition. We were on Channel 7 earlier. At the moment, Notre Dame football has taken over the main station. So we'll take you up for another half hour or so, get you a little closer to kickoff, get you a bunch of updates of what we're seeing on the field behind us. Overall, though, an awesome energy, and we will have a sold-out crowd tonight here inside Albertson Stadium.
Absolutely, and it's kind of nice to be able to do this second show a little bit closer to kickoff because we're still about an hour away, and when you look around, it's really filling out.
Yeah.
We have a sold-out game tonight. A lot of energy in the air, and, you know, I think they're expecting Boise State to put on a show.
Yeah, Brady just mentioned the game an hour away. If you're double-checking your clock saying, hey, the game's supposed to kick off at 7:45, they have already utilized a 15-minute slide window. The game will now kick off at 8 o'clock. If it doesn't start in time on FS1 because Air Force and Utah State are playing, then the game will begin on FS2, and then they'll join the program in action on FS1 when it becomes available. But either way, Boise State taking on their rivals in Fresno State. We give you a tail of the tape look at this matchup. Boise State 3-2 on the season. Fresno State just 1-3 so far. Both these teams have struggled a little bit offensively, at least scoring. Boise State 99th in the country when it comes to points per game on offense. And Fresno State, they're actually worse. 100th overall for the Bulldogs. I will say this, Fresno State a little bit better at moving the ball on offense. They're averaging over 412 yards per game. That's 65th in the country. Boise State, on the other hand, still in the low 300s. Even despite last week's effort, they jumped up quite a bit. But still, one of the worst averages in the country. The Broncos do carry quite a bit of an advantage, though, on the defensive side of the ball. So that's where they will take advantage of this matchup for Boise State.
Absolutely, and you were talking about earlier, BSU doesn't have a great offense so far, but things might have turned around last week.
Yeah, it certainly seems like they did. And I got to tell you, one of the most impressive things, Brady, is the response from this fan base, in my opinion. You know, after the UTEP game, as you get a nice little wide shot of the blue, really was curious of how Boise State would respond. I know that you're fairly new here. I've been here for 12 years. Usually if they lose, that means less people in the stands. Not necessarily the case last week, though. The administration here at Boise State is working just as hard as the team on the field, no longer relying solely on the product on the field to try to make this entertaining. So last week, the stadium 95% full in terms of capacity. And how about this? Billy Bowens told us earlier this week, one of the best atmospheres he's ever been a part of in college sports.
Yeah, and that's no surprise, especially when you see them on that south end zone. The crowd is really doing their part to help the defense take care of business. And it's obviously working out. 7 false start penalties racked up with UT Martin, 7 more with San Diego State. I don't know how that ranks nationally, but it's definitely pretty good.
Yeah, coming up on this condensed digital-only version of Bronco Roundup Game Day, we're going to talk about Taylen Green, as well as his freshman backfield mate in Ashton Genty. Also, DJ Schram has been incredible so far this year. But we begin with a look at this rivalry. Boise State 16-7 all-time against Fresno State. A lot of those victories have really come in the last 2 decades where Boise State has kind of taken the lead role in this rivalry. I will say this, though. Last year was a little bit different, Brady. With Jake Haener at the helm of the Bulldogs offense, they were heavy favorites. But the Broncos went into Fresno, pulled off a big road road upset, and a big part of that was due to the play of their star running back, George Halani.
Bachmeier awaits the snap. That's Halani. He'll catch the screen pass at the 45, to the 40, to the 30, cuts back. George Halani all the way, and that is the biggest play of the season.
He's one of the guys that doesn't stop his feet on contact. Some running backs will run and they'll brace for contact, or they'll dip a shoulder and kind of just get ready for it. He's not doing that. He's running straight through that. So you definitely got to bring your lunch when you're coming with him.
Bachmeier rush, throws the ball down the middle. It's caught at the 50 by Halani, and he'll stumble his way into Bulldog territory. Green with a fake. The defense is not there. Green with another first down, forced out of bounds at the Aztec 44-yard line, a gain of 12, and Green starting to get a little momentum running the football. Fourth quarter action, approaching 10 minutes to go. Zone read. Green keeps it left side, no one home, to the 30, to the 20, down the sidelines, 10-5, touchdown Taylen Green, 39 yards on the scamper for Green. Green just had too much speed for the Aztecs. Green will run right side, Green to the 40, Green to the 30, another first down. Green's gonna be over 100 yards as he has 11 on that play. Green with a second 100-yard rushing game in his career.
You know, I know that Taylen Green's young and he still has a lot of room to grow, but simply put, he is one of the most unique athletes in college football right now. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at this. Taylen is one of 3 quarterbacks in all of college football that has multiple 100-yard rushing games, and also in that same game had 2 or more rushing touchdowns. A completely unique stat line. Those 2 other guys on this list, Malik Cunningham as well as Adrian Martinez, both of those guys are redshirt seniors. Taylen has barely played in 2 full college football games. Probably added up 6 to 7 quarters, and somehow he's already made that list. A rare athlete. Can't wait to see him continue to grow this evening against Fresno State. And Brady, you brought this up earlier on the Bronco Roundup Game Day show that aired on Channel 7. Teams are going to now start to learn about Taylen Green and how to figure out how to stop Taylen Green. Can he be good enough to counter that?
Yeah, that's going to be the really interesting thing that we see, as the season progresses, but especially tonight. What can you do to stop Taylen Green, and even can he be stopped? Because some guys, they're tough to get after. We've seen what he can do so far on the field, and the fans are certainly excited to see him tonight. The TG10 hype train is moving at full speed, but we don't really know much about Taylen other than what he can do on the field. In fact, we still haven't talked to him. We don't even know what his voice sounds like. We do have the chance to talk to some of his teammates and see what they have to say about him. They're very excited to have him at the helm of the offense, just like the fans in the stands are, and there's a lot of hype as we head forward in the season. The Taylen Green era began with a bang as the Boise State run game exploded to 35 unanswered points in a win over San Diego State. Green's prowess on the run helped resurrect an offense that had come out flat to start the season.
I wasn't surprised, though. I know the type of athlete he is. I've been seeing it for a while now. We're excited to see him go out there and do what he does best.
Green has not been introduced to the media yet, but his teammates describe him as humble, energetic, and even a great dancer.
I see him do it all the time. He usually does it in warm-ups, too, so if you guys could catch him, he'll be doing it sometimes out there.
He's just a great guy to be around, and he brings a lot of joy and energy to the team. He's like a little kid. He's always giddy and just smiling, so I love it.
He's a great person to be around, such a burst of joy. I love him to death. Always dancing, having fun, me and him always cracking jokes, just little things here and there. So I love being around him. A lot of people love being around him.
And after finding some in-game success, he's making strides as a leader.
Him being loud and operating and being the field general the way he was that game, I think sparked a lot of confidence in him that he's going to keep rolling with for the rest of the season.
While the wide receivers and tight ends are usually looking to catch the ball, he's got them excited to block.
Sometimes I'm in the game and I'm watching, I'm like, I gotta go block, I gotta go block. Those blocks I'm out there forever, like, man, where is he going? I don't even know, I can't even see, I just hear the crowd, oh, they start getting loud, I'm like, oh my God, where is he? I just keep staying on my man, staying on my man.
That was one of the most fun halves of football I've ever played, and it's kind of just something about doing the dirty work with the O-linemen and going in and just kind of like sacrificing your body to help other guys on the team score. It's just a great feeling, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win games.
And Green is still, well, green, young, and showing a lot of promise to keep getting even better, especially if the Broncos can develop their passing game with number 10 under center.
We want to be a multi-dimensional offense, and Taylen's awesome with that. I'm excited to see us move the ball through the air and on the ground, because it's going to be really hard to stop.
Hey, here's a
right now
live
you're taking a look at Taylen Green warming up. And right now getting his arm ready is kind of what we're looking at as the story of the game. We've seen him make some incredible moves on the ground, but the passing game, we haven't seen a lot from Boise State this season as a whole. So we're looking for him to take that next step and get a more balanced offensive attack.
Yeah, this is a live look, by the way. You're only going to get with the official station for Bronco Nation. Taylen Green warming up on the blue prior to kickoff. By the way, check out the uniform combo. Black helmet, blue jerseys, black pants on homecoming. First time they've worn this combo this year, obviously. Only 6 games in, trying to break everything in, I guess. But either way, Taylen Green on the field warming up, and it's kind of cool. He now knows that this is his team. It's his show to run, and I thought one thing that was cool about this week, Brady, you mentioned we haven't necessarily heard Taylen Green's voice. Well, I guess I kind of have back when he committed, but not since he's arrived on campus. But one thing a bunch of his teammates said about him, his voice is getting louder. He's clearly getting more confident, comfortable in his role. The best is yet to come when it comes to TG10. Now, Taylen isn't the only freshman thriving on offense for Boise State. Texas native Ashton Jeanty only arrived on campus here at Boise State a few months ago, but guess what? He has more total yards than any other freshman in the Mountain West Conference. Through 5 games, he's racked up 280 of them. Last week, he had 82 yards on 12 carries, a healthy 7.0 average per clip. Also, he found the end zone for the first time in his young collegiate career. So far, Ashton has been playing well beyond his years. So this week, we set out to find out how exactly he's doing it.
Bronco Roundup Game Day Power Players, sponsored by Sparklight, a stronger connection.
Ball back at the 32, low snap, but Green able to catch it. Floats a pass to Jeanty, caught it at the 30. He'll get close to the 40-yard line. Nice gain to Jeanty, about 8 yards.
He's a guy that allows us to get in the rhythm. Great energy, great smile, great vibe.
Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm in the game and I'm watching, I'm like, I gotta go block, I gotta go block. It's amazing. It's a sight to see for sure.
3rd down and 3. They need to get to the 30. Green zone read. Hands it to Jeanty. Big hole over the left side. And inside the 10. Touchdown, Ashton Jeanty.
That was a perfect representative mentality. Guys were coming off, they were finishing blocks. Ashton was finishing them. If you look at, like, everyone had made their mind up like we were going to score, and they believed that, and they were ready to come off the ball. Not just like, oh yeah, let's score, we want to score, but like in their soul and every fiber of their being, they knew like we were going to get this ball in there, and it showed up.
It's a handoff left side to Jeanty. Jeanty cuts back after going to the left to the 30. He'll get down to the 20-yard line. Gain of nearly 25.
The moment's never too big for him, so he prepares really, really well. He's a fun guy to have just back there because he brings a lot of juice and a lot of energy, and he kind of acts like he's an older guy. He's kind of got that experience, that aura about him where he doesn't shy away in the big moments.
He works his tail off. He's bought in their meetings. He's always locked in on the field. He's always asking and learning from those guys. And me and him always talking too is like he wants to get better, and you could tell he has that edge and he has that fire in him.
There's guys that come into college that are really talented, but it takes a certain level of maturity. I mean, I know as a freshman and going into college way back when, I remember I had to learn. You guys all probably had to figure that out too when you went to college. You're away from home for the first time. It's not just playing football. There's a lot of other things that go into it. His level of maturity, his consistency, and then, he's very talented. And it's the bottom line. We're looking forward to seeing him continue to grow.
Hey, bottom line, kid's really, really good at football, and again, only a true freshman. Get you back out live on the field. The guy's continuing to warm up. We're going to try to give you as many live looks of the blue over the next 15 minutes or so that we possibly can. Taylen Green warming up with Will Farah in front of him. What this tells me, Kekani Okohola, Malia Gonzalez will be out. Once again, we told you that was likely going to be the case earlier today on the first edition of the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. But Kekani is out. Will Farah will make his third straight start at center on the offensive line for the Boise State football team, number 75, a sixth-year senior transferred out of Texas Tech. So, hey, last week the offensive line looked pretty good for this Boise State football team. Across the board, it was John Ojukwu. Next to him, Garrett Curran. You had Will Farah, a redshirt freshman, in Mason Randolph. And then at that right tackle position, the Washington State transfer, Beresford. So, it seemed like they found something that worked there up front last week.
Absolutely, and I think part of that is the entire offense was getting in sync and getting some chemistry. And when you see some good results, I think it makes it a little easier to do your job, especially, the play calling, not a ton of variety. So that might have helped out a little bit as everyone honed in on their assignments.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And it was just cool to see those guys having fun on the sideline, Brady. It's been a long time since you've seen that group have that type of joy while playing a football game. Long overdue, long deserved, and now it seems like they're finally connecting up front. Will be interesting to see if they can continue to build that continuity, that confidence here against Fresno State this evening, a program that has really struggled against the run. We are giving you that up-close look you are only going to see right here on Channel 7. Rodney Robinson getting as close to the camera as humanly possible right there. J.L. Skinner, the all-Mountain West safety, right out in front of him as a few more defensive players take the field here at Albertson Stadium. That is a unit that has been playing lights out so far this season, Brady.
Absolutely. They've been the rock of the team, and they've been there when things have been going, less than great for the offense. But now that the offense is getting going, it's going to be really interesting to see what this team is at when everybody's firing on all cylinders.
I've always said, or not always, but at least this last few weeks, I want this offense for Boise State to be good enough to find out how good this defense is. Quit putting them in bad spots, turning the ball over, allow them to play in normal game situations and see how good they can be. We saw that against San Diego State. The guy that's in the heart of that defense is having an outstanding year. In the way college football is these days, Brady, if you're not getting playing time, usually you just hit the transfer portal, right? Not the case with Boise State senior linebacker DJ Schram. He wasn't worried about a lack of PT earlier, so he didn't even worry about the TP as in the transfer portal. Instead, he stuck it out at a university he loves and a team he cares deeply for. And now, he's Boise State's most productive player on the defensive side of the ball.
Third and 5. Burmeister is blitzed. Burmeister gives it off.
DJ's going crazy right now. He's playing like an NFL linebacker.
Kristen will be gobbled up by Schram.
Wrapped up by DJ Schram.
I'm glad to see him doing that. He works hard. He's locked in, and he's just reaping the benefits of everything that he's put in.
DJ brings the energy, man, every day. Obviously there can be some days where the team is down, but not DJ, man. DJ is one of those guys who brings the energy at practice and helps elevate everybody's game. He's not only a great player, he's a great person, great brother, man.
He's a phenomenal young man. If you took a poll of all our players, he'd be one of everyone's favorite player. You just love being around DJ because he's always got some joke, always something to talk about. Like, he's just an engaging guy.
Everybody loves DJ, man. I can't even describe DJ or what he is, but every time you walk with a DJ, he for sure gonna put a smile on your face. He gets everybody going. I love DJ for that.
Whatever DJ does after football too, because of the person he is and who he is, he's gonna be successful. Because he's smart. Again, he's got a great personality. He has real confidence. It's not fake confidence. That is huge for our team. You know, he's a tremendous leader, not just for the defense, but he's a tremendous leader for our team overall.
San Diego State needs to get to the Bronco 43. Right side, a run. Bird is strung out and forced out by Schram once again.
He's paid his dues, and even last year backing up Zeke, you know, got some good run, but not even close to the extent he did now. And in the offseason was not the guy coming off as coach, I should be starting. He just kept prepping and training, but all he does is work. He's probably up there right now studying film, saying, I mean, that's just who he is. No different when he's in the classroom, he gets great grades. As a competitor, you don't know how to turn it off, right? If I'm in class, I'm gonna do a really good job in this class I'm in. If you're in the football field prepping for a game, it's gonna be the same. He's just a phenomenal young man. Seeing him, the hard work, still's got a lot that he can improve on and grow in, and no one wants to improve that more than himself, right? He's up there finding a way to continue to take steps.
Hey, DJ Schram has been so good. In 3 of the 5 games this year, he's registered multiple or double-digit tackles. He has 44 tackles on the season. At 8.8 tackles per game, he ranks 3rd in the Mountain West. He's leading the team. He's basically already smashed all of his single-season personal best in his 5th year on campus at Boise State. He's having an incredible year, and you got to imagine, Brady, that tonight's game specifically means a little bit more to number 52.
Absolutely. You know, when you're a defensive player especially, I think you find little things to motivate you. Well, DJ Schram is a Fresno native himself, but after an incredible high school career where he was rated a 3-star recruit in the country, top 10 linebacker in the state of California, instead of staying close to home and becoming a Bulldog, he became a Bronco. And this will be the first time that he's a true starter in the rotation playing against Fresno State in the Milk Can rivalry. You got to imagine it's a special day for him.
I got to imagine it's a very special day for him. We continue to count down to kickoff. I'm going to remind you, the kickoff time has now slid to 8 o'clock. Was supposed to start at 7:45. It will now kick off at 8 o'clock. We're going to be with you here for a few more minutes on KTVB.com for the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. 37 minutes until kickoff. But as you get a live look at the field, the receivers warming up not far behind us. You see more offensive linemen now coming out onto the field. The players warmed up, coming out of the tunnel as they continue to take part in their pregame festivities. And as we see the Boise State players come out, Brady, there is a guy, a very prominent member of Fresno State's coaching staff that I have seen run out of that tunnel more than a few times before. Kirby Moore. Yes, Kellen Moore's younger brother is back in Boise, but he's coaching for the enemy, if you will. This is kind of a common path. Boise State, Fresno State are rivals, but a number of former Boise State players have really jump-started their coaching careers at Fresno State. Take a look at this. DJ Harper played at BSU from 2007 to 2012. He came back. He was a graduate assistant at Fresno State in 2017. Now, he's a coach in the Canadian Football League. Fellow former BSU back Lee Marks both coached and played at Boise State. In 2022, he joined the Bulldogs coaching staff. Now, he's actually at the University of Washington coaching running backs. Former Bronco defensive back, Julius Brown. Yep, he had 2 stints at his alma mater. The first go-around, mostly in operations. The second go-around, he was a DB's coach. He was let go in 2015. He joined Fresno State staff in 2020. Now, he is at UW as well. And then there's one more Bronco alumnus for you, Taylor Pope, graduate assistant at Fresno. Now he's at UW. None of those guys have stayed committed to Fresno State, quite like Kirby Moore. He moved there and joined the staff in 2017, and he's been getting promotions ever since, none bigger than the one he received this last offseason.
Here we go, tight go, get set up, 1 go!
Curb's awesome, man. When Coach Tedford came back and told me that Curb was going to be there, it was one of the big things, that I was looking at.
They want to hear all about it.
He's ready. It was a great fit for him to step into the coordinator role. He's a great person. He's very knowledgeable, obviously. Great with the kids.
Here we go, I got you.
Very well organized.
That's my dude, man.
Back in the day here.
He's one of the brightest dudes
Get your release, hold your line.
that I've been around. Grinds his butt off. Kayla, his wife, was like, this dude gets up at like 3 in the morning and is like at the stadium at 4 o'clock. So just the level of commitment that he has is something that, I kind of gravitate towards, and just his passion for ball is something that obviously I love, I'm all about.
Still gonna sell on him a little bit.
He's open and receptive to what I have to say, which is big for me, and it gives me confidence. He wants to know my input, and he wants to know what I have to say on certain situations, and we'll talk it through. So I think our relationship's great.
You guys all good on this?
I'm really proud of his growth and development over time, and I have a lot of trust and confidence in him.
Kirby's funny story, right when I first got here, dude was driving like a 2001 Mazda, tiny little Mazda that was his wife's car in high school. And they're like 33 now. And I'm like, Kirby, you just got a huge promotion. Why are you driving this Mazda still? And he's like, oh, dude, it's so reliable. Keeps me humble. I'm driving to work, no AC, and this little beat up Mazda. It's got like 300,000 miles on it. And dude just got a new car like last week. He showed me the keys the other day. He's like, look what I got. And I was like, dude, it's about time. I mean, you're making how much? 400 grand a year, and you're driving a beater 2001 Mazda? I mean, it was funny, man. And he was joking about it, and he's fired up about his new ride, but he's keeping the Mazda in his driveway, so it's funny. He won't let her go.
I just got to say, I love that story. I think it's an awesome story. Kirby Moore, humble, and he proves it by driving a car that's nearly 2 decades old. Hey, once they break out the hype circle and the pregame warm-ups, you know they're getting near the end of warm-ups. They'll break out soon, go into some team, head back into the locker room for one final time, and then whenever they reappear, it will be officially game time. As it stands right now, still 33 minutes until kickoff between Boise State and Fresno State. Hey, this is a chance for Boise State to move to 3-0 in Mountain West Conference play. A big opportunity in front of the Broncos this evening. Kind of odd, too, by the way, Brady. Fresno State hasn't played a conference game this year. This will be Boise State's third. Yeah.
How did that happen?
Getting all their non-conference out of the way early on, just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, if you will. But getting back to it, a big chance for Boise State to move to 3-0 in Mountain West play tonight, which darn near halfway through conference play at that point.
Absolutely, and when things looked like they were going bad, but they still haven't lost in conference, and if the offense is really moving forward, the defense is remaining as great as it's been, then we're kind of going to end up forgetting about those struggles the team had seen early on, because they won't matter as much.
Exactly. Well, this has been fun. Boise State favored by 9 tonight. That line has moved all over the place. A big reason why. Fresno State will be without 3 key players tonight. Their starting quarterback, Jake Haener, out. We've also been told that their star safety, Evan Williams, will miss tonight's ball game. And then their left tackle, who, man, Jake Haener talked him up a lot. Dante Bull, he's out of tonight's game too with an injury. So Fresno State banged up at the moment, missing 3 of their best players. We'll see how the Bulldogs are able to respond. Hey, we will have plenty of reaction coming up tomorrow on a special edition of the News at 5, which begins at 4:30. We will also have extended highlights, post-game reaction during the News at 10, as well as on Sundays for Sports Extra. I want to remind you, after this game is over, head over to KTVB.com because we will be streaming the post-game press conferences live. Andy Avalos will be accompanied by a couple of players. We'll make sure we bring that to you. Should be a fun night in front of a packed house, a sold-out crowd here at Albertson Stadium, Brady.
Absolutely, and we talked. It was loud, and you can feel the energy at the top of the show. Over the last 30 minutes, that has elevated significantly. It's going to be wild. It's going to be loud, and I think the crowd's going to do their part to help BSU take care of business tonight.
Stay close to KTVB and KTVB.com for more Boise State coverage. For Brady, Frederick, and the rest of our amazing Bronco Roundup Game Day crew, I'm Jay Tust. Enjoy the game, everybody.